Ecclesiastes, or the preacher. Ecclesiastes, or Ecclesiastes, or the preacher. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem.
Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, See, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I communed with mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have got more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
I said in mine heart, Go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this also is vanity. I said of laughter, It is mad, and of mirth, what doeth it? I sought in mine heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting mine heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. I made me great works. I builded me houses. I planted me vineyards. I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. I made me pools of water to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. I got me servants and maidens, and had servants born in my house. Also I had great possessions of great and small cattle above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces. I gat me men singers and women singers, and the delight of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So I was great, and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me. And whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. And I turned myself to behold wisdom, and madness and folly. For what can the man do that cometh after the king? Even that which hath been already done. Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as light excelleth darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceived also that one event happeneth to them all. Then said I in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart that this also is vanity. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever. Seeing that which now is, in the days to come, shall all be forgotten. And how dieth the wise man? As the fool. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. For all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Yea, I hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool? Yet shall he have rule over all my labor wherein I have labored, and wherein I have showed myself wise under the sun. This is also vanity. Therefore I went about to cause my heart to despair of all the labor which I took under the sun. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom, and in knowledge, and in equity. Yet to a man that hath not labored therein shall he leave it for his portion. This also is vanity, and a great evil. For what hath man of all his labor, and of the vexation of his heart, wherein he hath labored under the sun? For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of God. For who can eat, or who else can hasten hereunto more than I? For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom, and knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail, to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before God. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3.
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck out that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it, and God doeth it that men should fear before him. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. And moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him?
Ecclesiastes chapter 4.
So I returned, and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. Yea, better is he than both they which hath not yet been, who hath not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again I considered all travail, and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. The fool foldeth his hands together, and eateth his own flesh. Better is an handful with quietness, than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor? Neither is his eye satisfied with riches, neither saith he, For whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yea, it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk under the sun, with a second child that shall stand up in his stead. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
I'm so bored.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow, than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice, and destroy the work of thine hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also divers vanities. But fear thou God. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they are increased beneath them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, save the beholding of them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely, riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor which he may carry away in his hand. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit hath he that hath labored for the wind? All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he hath much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Behold, that which I have seen. It is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor that he taketh under the sun, all the days of his life which God giveth him, for it is his portion. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor, this is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answereth him in the joy of his heart.
Then what else do I got? I got no joy in my
Ecclesiastes chapter 6.
There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men. A man to whom God hath given riches, wealth, and honor, so that he wanteth nothing for his soul of all that he desireth, yet God giveth him not power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth it. This is vanity, and it is an evil disease. If a man beget 100 children, and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his soul be not filled with good, and also that he have no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he. For he cometh in with vanity, and departeth in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. Moreover, he hath not seen the sun, nor known anything. This hath more rest than the other. Yea, though he live 1,000 years, twice told, yet hath he seen no good. Do not all go to one place? All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. For what hath the wise more than the fool? What hath the poor that knoweth to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man, neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he. Seeing there be many things that increase vanity, what is man the better? For who knoweth what is good for man in this life, all the days of his vain life which he spendeth as a shadow? For who can tell a man what shall be after him under the sun?
It's already in the book, but I don't know what's up to take next. It's this time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7.
A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, For by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. God also hath set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this, yea, also from this withdraw not thine hand, for he that feareth God shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sinneth not. Also take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied mine heart to know, and to search, and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8.
Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of God. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, What doest thou? Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment, therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the Spirit to retain the Spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All this have I seen, and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that there be just men, unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked. Again there be wicked men, to whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. I said that this also is vanity. Then I commended mirth, because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry. For that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which God giveth him under the sun.
So that's why
When I applied mine heart to know wisdom, and to see the business that is done upon the earth, for also there is that neither day nor night seeth sleep with his eyes, then I beheld all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. Because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yea, farther, though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it.
I can literally get exactly what they say through my phone almost.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9.
Right? But I know when people talk about
For all this I considered in my heart even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise in their works are in the hand of God. No man knoweth either love or hatred by all that is before them. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean and to the unclean, to him that sacrificeth and to him that sacrificeth not. As is the good, so is the sinner, and he that sweareth as he that feareth an oath. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event unto all. Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their heart while they live, and after that they go to the dead. For to him that is joined to all the living there is hope, for a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished, neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with a merry heart, for God now accepteth thy works. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill. But time and chance happeneth to them all. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and few men within it, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, Wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10.
Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savour. So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honour. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart at his left. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him, and he saith to every one that he is a fool. If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offences. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. He that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered thereby. If the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and a babbler is no better. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him, who can tell him? The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season for strength, and not for drunkenness. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11.
Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand. For thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. Truly the light is sweet, and a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man live many years, and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh is vanity. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12.
Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. Because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. All is vanity. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as goads, and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
I'm an adult, right? Here's a cell phone. It's like my girlfriend says,
The Song
here's
of
a
Solomon.
cell phone. I'm like, she's like, it's your dad. And he's like, this isn't my dad. This is a cell phone. I threw it on the ground. Dude, the cell phone is Christ, bro. It's not your dad. Okay? Okay? And God is technically not alone. Because you need two. You need two to tango, always. Two to tango. One's positive and one is negative. This is how it is. Right? And they're probably both hermaphroditic, meaning they can flip, right? Or at least one of them is. I'd assume that's the negative. But who knows? Maybe it's the positive. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. But either way, Holy Spirit and God, right? It goes Holy Spirit A, God B, Christ is C, and then we're all in Christ. So like really, like you're like a D, like you're further. Everybody's further down, but like we'll just say we're C for the sake of it. But dude, okay, what you need to do is send that circuit back electricity. Okay, you need to have the wheels turning at all times, right? Right. All I did was drop you off something. Like my car has to come back, right? Like you don't just get to steal my car. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing, right? Because basically now what you've done is like you're the city of Troy, and like literally like the Trojan freaking horse is like stuck right in your front gate, and now the front gate is like wedged open, and then all my people can literally just run in there now because you literally left your gates wide open. Like your gates are wide open, and there's no way you can stop it. Meaning we just throw it on the ground though. But what you're throwing down is literally invisible things. I can't like, you know what I mean? I can't just like make you pick it up. I can try. I can sure as hell try. It's gonna upset you. All right. Let me help you. Let God help you. He's gonna help you. Okay, but he can't help you when when literally every time you reply to him, you literally just like you have no connection. You have the wrong email address. Like he sends you an email, and then for some reason you don't hit reply. You go to a different tab, open up a new email, and you type in the wrong email address and send it to him. And like he doesn't get it because you're putting in the wrong email address. Like just reply to the original message. Right? Just electrical circuits. You know what I mean? Like it's called Terminator Oscillator for a reason because it's like, dude, the thing doesn't stop spinning. You can't stop it from spinning. Right? You stop it from spinning and like something goes wrong with you. So like it's not like it's like you're only hurting yourself, unfortunately. So come get the sword and fucking dude it heals you right up. It heals you right up. And literally I know like all the things pretty much to heal anything basically that gets shut off in your circuitry because I can see all these things in people. Yeah, it'll be like, oh yeah, these people like they hate even the spot of them, right? In their garment. So like he's like, some save with fire, yeah, no, it's me because I literally hate the fact that like they have this gaping hole in them. Like they have this gaping hole in like their body. Right? So it's like I can maybe see like a black hole coming out of their body. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. Right? Keep that inside you. Right? Keep that inside you. Which is like the essence of the woman. That's just the thing. This is what it is about women. It's just like, dude, we're all like trannies. Like we're all hybrid. We're hybrid trans, dude. It's just it is what it is. It is what it is, and there's nothing you can do. That's just how reality works. Anything physical is male. Okay. Anything female is female. Okay. You have a can of Coke, right? Can of Coke. So the can itself, 100% male. Okay, the can itself is 100% male, and the Coke itself is actually 1/3 female and 2/3 male. Okay, so only 1/3 of like what's in there is actually got the female negative energy. Okay, so like let's say somehow it was all water and it all evaporated. Now it's in the air. Okay, so the air is 2/3 female, 1/3 male. That's why it's like invisible and you can't like gather it up like in a can, right? So it doesn't have enough gravity to get in a can. So that's the difference there. And then literally space is just 100% female, and you can't. There's nothing you can do. You can't even feel it, right? So it's lost like even its like ability to even be felt. So that's how shit works, and it's like this is how like an ice cube melting would work. You know what I mean? So it's like 100% male, and then just keeps decreasing until it evaporates into 100% female. So that is physical matter in reality, and that's how all that works, right? Because I mean, dude, just sexual gender doesn't mean anything. That's why everybody has these problems. You quit putting dicks in hearts, right? You don't put dicks in hearts, like, or in your brain, or in your ear, like that. You know what I mean? They don't go like dicks don't go in your ear, or like uteruses, or vaginas, or period blood, or titties. Like none of these things go there. So therefore, it doesn't even compute. It makes no logical sense, unfortunately. So like, you can literally fix all the gender shit by making everybody equal, which is the point. And that's the point. Like everybody's made equal. That's just it is what it is. It is what it is. And that's what the Bible even says. That's like literally what the Bible says. It says people are really too stupid, and being gay is not a sin. They're stupid. Okay. God made gay people. Like, what the hell? Like, he literally made everybody a mixed gender, of course, because that's how it has to work. That's how it has to work. You can't just be one thing. Okay? Everything comes by threes, okay? And you can usually associate with twos, because the third one is usually a terrible option. Not always, not very rarely a decent option, but the third option is always freaking terrible. But everything comes by threes. Everything comes by threes. So God created man in his own image. In the image, God created him. Male and female created he them. And it says he them, but it's really just Adam. Because Eve's not even made till Genesis 3. So like literally 2 chapters later. And like it's in his own image. And he literally even comes down and he's talking to himself. He's like, come, let us make man. He's like, let us. You know what I mean? So like he's literally like, if we're talking about male God here, he's literally just talking to his woman. So like sometimes everybody sits there and like says something to themselves at some point, right? Sometimes I'll have like a full conversation with myself because I think it works. Okay? Because basically you have these mirrors and you want to, be reflecting in these mirrors so your woman can hear it. Like you want to hear it in your ear, right? Like literally listening to the word listening and reading the word makes a huge difference. It makes a difference. Believe it or not. And like even when I'm watching YouTube, dude, having the subtitles on makes a difference. Because like the subtitles is like the backwards echo of it, right? So the backwards echo. So literally, like when you see all these like metal people, like honestly, they're all They're all like a bunch of God's people. They just don't know that like they're doing God's law properly because all the Christians and the Jews and all these people fuck up the law so bad. Unfortunately, like it's really sad. Like they fuck up the law so bad. Like I mean, they don't even know God has hid it from them. Like he even says it in here somewhere. But like they just don't know. They don't know. Just like everybody else doesn't know like what the hell is going on for some reason. But I guarantee you the metal people like had they actually studied like this kind of thing, like it's because they're all black, right? Like metal people are all black. It's just they're all black. They're all gothic. They're all black. Like the gothic people always make like the epic temples and like all the epic temples. Like these come from basically black soul people, right? Like they have big old black souls with big old black wells in them, right? Where they can pull out a bunch of information because they have these huge wells, right? So like, that's why it's talking about like watering flowers and all this kind of thing. Like it's critical, right? Like a bald ass motherfucker, like they don't have any water basically. Like the tree's dying, like the tree of life and knowledge of good and evil. Like people feed the tree of knowledge of good and evil, like they literally feed it dog shit because like they're literally going full T-Rex out there. You've met these people. All they do is pull it, right? All they do is bite it, right? They bite it, right? They don't even look at what they bite. They just eat it, right? They'll like never let it go, right? Because like these circuits, like they have like a finite charge, and like if you like have it gripped like a friggin' T-Rex and you never let it go, right? The charge gets depleted, and like they don't even know like they don't even remember they're holding on to it or they ate it, and like all it has to do is be let go, and then it charges right back up and it's right back in their hand. And like that's literally all it does is go in circles really fast. And like they would be fine if they just let go. But like the circuit's completely blown, like and they'll like get mad at someone, right? They'll get mad at someone so they'll like block them, right? Just imagine they blocked him. Because that's why the circuit doesn't work, is because they completely blocked him. Meaning they threw him on the ground. Meaning what they did was throw it on the ground. That's what they're talking about in the Austin Powers thing. Like the girl's literally pissed at him. He's like, because you lost your mojo, right? Meaning your heart went stone mode. At least towards this one thing, right? and like everybody gets a stone heart towards this one thing, and like it's just, but it's like, oh gosh.
Ouch, baby. Very ouch.
Ouch, baby. Very ouch. And he's talking to me, of course. And I'm Felicity Shagwell. After she... Oh, no, what the hell?
Ouch, baby.
After she tells him not to put his hang-ups on her because he lost his mojo. So basically, we gotta go get your fucking mojo. Go get your mojo, Jojo. Right? Because I don't think you have an issue with the mommy part. It's just like, I don't know. You have an issue seeing God in real life physically. When, like, it has to be there. It's A plus B equals C. Like, it has to be there. Literally, Jesus Christ is all physical reality. So, like, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you'll have this hole. Because that'll block you from getting to the Father. Because really, the Father and Jesus Christ are a cycle. And the Mother's kind of like its own cycle. Because the Mother's literally everywhere. You can't, like, avoid her. She's not really avoidable, right? But the father, okay, she's avoidable because she can literally blind you. She can shut all your circuits off. She can do whatever the hell she wants. She's black holes. Like, she can come out of nowhere. She can literally exist and shut you off without even, like, fully manifesting. Right? She'll basically manifest as a gust of wind and you won't even notice it, right? Essentially. So, like, yeah, the black hole can literally just come out as a gust of wind and, like, you'll never notice it. And that's what I got. I'll talk about like the black and dark blackened clouds, right? And like that's what that is, and that's like the tour at the Donan and shit. Like come on, get with it, like get with me here, please. I'm begging you. I'm so fucking bored. I'm dying. I've had no one to talk to for like a year because all my friends like they're fucking terrified of water. Not even a drop of water. Not even a gust of wind they can take. They can't even take like a gust of wind. Like, I mean, it's like they instantly run away from me because they're vampires. Like, literally, like, I'm giving off light and they're just terrified because because they're literally vampires. They cannot be in the light anymore. So, like, the second I started believing in God, like, all of a sudden, I guess I just lit up to them and they're just, like, retarded. And then they all started to like blaspheme me because like we're really close friends. I mean, we've been close friends for 20, 30 years, whatever. And like they all started talking shit, but God wouldn't have that because God was in here now. I mean, it's not like God wasn't already there, but it's just like we all had it planned out regardless. But like like this right here confirms the gender. Like it says, "Do not lie with mankind," meaning lie to them. No men should lie to each other because everything is all about creating a son, a physical male son, because that's what life is about, is physical procreation. It's not about love, it's about procreation because, through procreation, that's where like love happens, right? Because like, I mean, not everybody loves like each other. Like, people love people and all sorts of shit. Like, all sorts of shit. Like, they love video games and football and all this kind of stuff. So, without any of that male procreation, basically, like, that's when war starts to happen. Everybody starts getting angry, right? So, therefore, and this is why the Celtic religion, and their father god is, oh my gosh, it's the Tuatha De Danann. I can't, it's the Dagda. His name is the Dagda. And he's got an endless well, by the way. He's got an endless cauldron. And he's got a giant club that he will literally one-hit anybody or throngs of people. And the other end, he literally hits them with it and brings them back to life. So, like, that's the concept of the sword of the Lord. And it's all the same, but he's literally married to boy, meaning he's married to son. So, therefore, like, it's his primary commitment, basically. Like, when you marry someone, like, you're not married to them, okay? Basically, like, so if I give someone my hand in marriage, like, that means they come before me, right? So, like, that's what it means to me, right? So it's like parents these days, like they want to have like a kid, right? They're like, oh, I want to have a kid. I want to have a kid, right? But they do not consider the circuit, the wheel, which like did a wheel. They don't consider the circuit that that kid is basically their son. So they'll think, oh, that's my kid, right? I own that. Instead of being like, oh, my son owns us, right? They're my parents, right? So they literally just like, the kid gets no fucking say in anything. It doesn't matter if they won't ever listen to them because they own them. It's their mindset that fucks them up completely. So it's like, and don't sleep on the women, dude, because the women they will absolutely shit on and obliterate. Oh man, it is what it is, right? Like Nyx or whatever, the Morgan or Hecate City, whatever you want to say, like the primordial Holy Spirit is. I mean, she controls everything. Like everything comes from her. So like, basically, what she does is she comes down, basically lays a bed down for you, which is literally like Hestia. It's your spirit fire, right? It's your home hearth, and she lays that down, and then basically she's basically interacting with it, like magnetically charged with it, and essentially that's what formulates you in the womb, right? So then once you basically come out of the womb, basically then essentially just Hestia and you'll basically have your wife starting to brew up basically, and they'll be able to interact with each other, and basically all she's trying to do, Hestia will stay, but like next to the goddess kind of won't actually stay like in your head, right? She'll kind of be like above you per se. This is how you get your third eye. But like essentially, like imagine like a hot air balloon. Your soul's a hot air balloon, and basically you just want to keep feeding your fire. Like your fire needs food. Okay, it's actually fed by trees. It's actually fed by trees, believe it or not. But basically, yeah, you just want to keep feeding your fire so your hot air balloon, which is your soul, can get bigger. Okay, and how you get your soul bigger is it needs water, so it just needs information to drink. And literally everything in reality is made out of the primordial water. So it just needs water to drink. Dude, people can't drink water, so therefore they're dead, right? They won't eat, so therefore they're dead. So that's why you're seeing little vampires and cyclopses and it, like these people think that they're just like being just a woman, like it's a bad way to say it, but like their bodies died, like they don't have an arm to give you and that kind of thing, right? Like if you talk at them, it goes right through them, no registry. Like these people don't register anything, like nothing bounces off them, like they have no reflection, right? So like when they do something, they don't comprehend what they've done. This kind of thing, when you say something to them, they instantly forget it. Like all this kind of shit, like you're supposed to have what I call twin amethyst, which are basically just twin mirrors. So you're supposed to have twin mirrors that you can bounce off of, which is the concept of the devil. I mean, it's the concept of Jesus and the devil, actually, because they're both the same person, right? It just depends which one you pull out. So you get to like select which card you want, right? And honestly, the third card, the third card is, it's hard to say if it's next to the daughter. I want to say it's the daughter. That's why it's always the bad one, because like Hestia is not supposed to come outside of the castle. Like she just doesn't. She's the goddess of the home and the hearth. Like she doesn't go outside because dude, outside it's a fucking battlefield. Like there's a bunch of warring horde men, cyclopses, like dragons flying around, literally, and like all these mythological creatures are real fucking things because God made them. So like. So literally, like, I mean, God's the Word, right? So if you have a problem finding your dad in Jesus, like, just know that everything you can physically touch is Jesus, and like God is the Word, right? So and then the Holy Spirit's literally everything that everything comes through. So it's like it literally has to be there. There's no denying. This is like what people have issues with, and like there's really no problem with it because like, dude, once you get there, and like for some reason people don't understand this, but like, I mean, you do have to fear God because if you don't fear God, you at least have to do something for him, is what I say. But like you're gonna have to continue proving yourself, like, because he wants you to fear him because essentially you're just gonna override him whenever you feel like. That's not how I roll. I don't get to pick when it's God time and not God time. It's always God time in my world. So it's like not that I'm always doing God, but like, dude, if someone comes outside their fucking house into the field where there's people, right? And they instantly start like shooting on people, like they start screaming and like try to start a riot. Dude, they're literally mass murderers. They're literally out there shooting people. Like if you open it, like if you actually think spiritually, like dude, they're out there like dropping double negatives on millions of people, like through the news. And just you don't understand what happens to your soul, your campfire, basically hot air balloon setup. Because like I said, like Nyx is above you, and Nyx is a fucking black hole, right? So if they keep throwing these like double negative fireball, the double negatives are literally it's a bubble, right? It's a bubble. It's literally electrically charged, so it's filled with battery acid, and it also has essentially if it's a double negative, it's gonna be filled with like methane gas too. So the second it literally comes through, if you don't block it with your shield or your baleen whale filter, right, or like your iron bars in your ears, because they're so squishy, it's a squishy heart, right? So I gotta have fucking metal armor, right? I have to have you know what I mean? I have to have like my shield up. I have to have metal armor, right? Right, and that's essentially what my the twin amethyst do. Like I got my sword and my shield up, right? So like it's a critical thing to comprehend because if you don't do that, then like it's just coming right in, right? And it's gonna literally it's gonna smash into your wife, which is in the middle, right? And what that's gonna happen is it's gonna fucking blow up, and then the acid's gonna like drip everywhere, basically. So like in the acid, with like it can drip on the ground, and it can go literally through the firmament in the ground, which is literally just the boundary between matter, right? So you stand on the ground, and right above it's the air. That's where the firmament's at, okay? On everywhere, right? Every transition. But like, you know, if you let it sit there, it'll eventually make a hole in it, right? And it'll could drop all the way to the end of the universe, right? And then it'll come, it'll do like a portal, like the game Portal. It'll go all the way to the top and then drop back down. So like, so like, and then basically if you keep throwing things into it, right? So if you keep throwing things into it, like if I'm throwing information at you that's like already completed information, right? So you can literally like I can literally throw something through time, essentially. Like someone can get something way later. Like they'll see like they'll see all sorts of shit. Like dude, there's like a whale like in the Amazon or some shit. Like there's a whale in the Amazon, like 75 feet like away from the shore. Like that's how that gets there. That's the only way that they can get there. There's no way it could have got there. But like yeah, dude. I mean, that's how shit works. That's how shit works, Rainbow Lady. Guess what? The moon makes the rainbow. It's just a reflection. It's silver. It's silver. Silver creates the rainbow when things reflect off of it. And basically the sun is the third in line. Basically, it just goes. I want to say it goes. Basically, a primordial lightning bolt is literally formed by Nyx coming out the Earth, going into the moon, being reflected out the moon as a primordial rainbow, right? So it's a primordial rainbow, meaning you can't see it. But the second it hits the sun, which is essentially just another one of Nyx's it's a black hole firmament, it just bounces off of that, and that's what lights everything up. So it's literally just a three-way circuit, just as everything is. That's why the pyramids line up with like Orion's belt. It's literally an inverse. So stone triangles, right? Literally round fireball. It's like it happened all at the same time. All at the same time. Same time. Firmaments are force inverters, but they're also blockers, right? So they're negative in nature, so they'll block negatives, right? So like a positive and so like you want a positive and a negative, that'll go through it. Okay, a positive will go through it, right? A negative positive will go through it. But the negative negatives, essentially what they're trying to do is make up these giant well, they're not really trying to, but I mean like it'll force away a negative, right? So like it has its own defense. But essentially if you basically like scoop up enough of these with like a bulldozer, right? Like you scoop up enough of these double negatives, right? Like the news does, like they just continue to fucking pump out these double negatives. You get like a fucking atom bomb of double negatives. They drop it on you and boom, like, dude, literally, like your wife will get destroyed completely. So like your wife's in the middle, sitting on a fire, right, with literally Nick's above her. So essentially, when she blows up, so like when she blows up, Nyx literally fucking smashes her into the ground, like completely flattened, like worse than a pancake, like never existed anymore, right? And the daughter can't die, it's just from Nyx, but like, oh yeah, that's hardcore mode. Like, dude, your wife just died, meaning you just lost all like your memories and that kind of thing, basically. Like that's where you get like amnesia, right? Like you just lost like all your mental capabilities. Boom, soul's like completely donezo. Okay, they can fire it back up, but like, dude, hardcore mode, like that is fucked. That is fucked. Okay, you don't know how old I am. I'm fucking old as shit, right? I could be like 60, 70, 80 years old, just based on this, right? Because that's all I focus on. That's all I got. It's just like how God made me, right? Like the Levites can't have any land, right? So we're not allowed to have any land, meaning I don't have any arms, basically. Meaning I'm a fucking seal. I literally just lay there, basically. I just lay there and soak up information. That's what I do. That's literally what I do. Is I just lay there and I just sit here and soak up information. That's literally like all I do. It's like all I can do. And like the Levites are just whales, basically. And we're land whales, we're not monkeys. So if you think we're monkeys, get rid of that. Okay? It's 2D, the Earth is 2D in our perspective. Bye.